Hey everyone, this is Jalen with Growth Inspire. We all know that there is a lot of items on a credit report that can do a lot of damage. We know it can be charge-offs, it can be collections, late payments, medical bills, and all. But one of the most damaging kinds of adverse information that can be on the credit report is bankruptcy. We are all well aware that items on a credit report can be removed or deleted before 7 years if you can prove that it is inaccurate. So one of the questions I get asked the most is, can bankruptcies come off credit reports? So in this video, I'm going to touch bases on bankruptcies and answer the question if they can come off credit reports. So if you ever wonder if bankruptcies can come off credit reports before 10 years, check out this video here as I will answer this question and talk about this topic more in depth, shall we? Check. The reason why I made this video is to go over bankruptcies. I will be primarily referring to Chapter 7 bankruptcy as is one of the most simplistic to understand, as someone files for Chapter 7 bankruptcy. It shows that they are unable to pay their debts, and it usually wipes off all their debts, excluding student loans or any other governmental loans. So this video here will be pretty short, as this is not a tutorial video or a how-to dispute video. It is primarily a video discussing about bankruptcies and answering the question if they can come off credit reports. There is not a lot of information regarding bankruptcies in general, if they can or cannot come off credit reports. All the stuff that I'm going over, it took me a tremendous amount of time and energy to find the answer. I tried to look up this answer myself, and then there was not a lot of information out there related to if it's a yay or nay or no. Most of the answers that I've seen online were no, it's not possible, it's impossible, you can't get them off. Even Experian have a blog on it saying that it stays on your credit report for 10 years. I understood that other items could, for example, repossessions, charge-offs, collections, things in that category. And I had a lot of friends and colleagues that are lenders, real estate agents, and others that are in the credit business. And they told me that they cannot come off, they are public records, they have to stay on your credit report for 10 years and this and that. With me being a credit consultant now and a credit repair specialist, I decided to challenge it myself to see if I can get them deleted on my end. I would like to add that I am not an attorney at fact or attorney at law, so this video is strictly my opinion and I cannot give legal advice regarding bankruptcies going forward. As I was doing my research into bankruptcies, I realized that the bankruptcies courts themselves do not report to the credit bureaus. Credit bureaus use different kinds of furnitures that I will discuss later to report that kind of information to them. So once bankruptcies has been filed and discharged, they are officially public records. Bankruptcies being a public record, almost anyone can look into the court documents, and some can even call the state court and even request to hear that information. One thing that I noticed when I was working on getting a bankruptcy removed is that the courts themselves do not report to the furnisher. For example, the state courts, they do not send your information regarding bankruptcies to the credit bureaus. They use third-party furnishers like LexisNexis and LCI consumers to gather this information on public records, and then they send these records to the credit bureaus like Equifax, TransUnion, and Experian. Even though the bankruptcy records, they are public information, the bankruptcy courts themselves do not report that information directly to the credit bureaus. A lot of people do not know this, but there is practically a middleman from the bankruptcy courts to the credit bureaus who actually report the bankruptcy, the public records part, and they sell it to the credit bureaus. So the biggest question you may have is, can bankruptcies come on consumer reports before 10 years? They absolutely can, but there is a lot more to it than just simply trying to dispute it and tell them to remove it. And to be completely honest, it is extremely difficult to remove public records like bankruptcies. but it is not impossible. To be honest, it is extremely difficult to remove bankruptcies from consumer reports, but I have been successful in the past at removing bankruptcies for some of my clients and even for my own personal consumer report before I even started being a credit repair specialist. So it is definitely not impossible, but it can be a very difficult and frustrating process. It took me over a year of disputing to finally get it removed from my consumer report. And I even had a lot of individuals who tried to dispute for years and they've never been able to get it off, and then they ultimately just give up and not even worry with it anymore. And a lot of people believe that you have to send falsified information, for example, saying like a fake police report or a fake identity theft affidavit to attempt to have it removed, which is not the case at all. You can have other grounds to have it removed from your consumer report if you can prove that it is inaccurate. Highly illegal, and I highly do not recommend doing things like that, as that is fraud and you can get in a lot of trouble for doing that. If you can prove that it is inaccurate or non-factual, some of the information that they are reporting, that is grounds for a deletion. But due to the fact that there is so much that plays into it and there is a lot of uncertainty within having it removed, I cannot guarantee that it will work out for every person who files for bankruptcy. But a lot of individuals has been successful in the past, including me, to get it removed off of consumer reports. And just because people get them off their consumer report does not guarantee that it won't be reported on other consumer furnishers, as there's just about a dozen of furnishers who report all different kinds of records, from driving records, public records, evictions, and everything else in that category. It is definitely possible getting bankruptcies and public records off your consumer report. The only reason that I made this video is to basically give people hope that they can turn their credit information back to the right path. Just because it is possible doesn't mean it's going to be easy. Bankruptcies and other public records are one of the hardest things to get taken off a consumer report. And there is a higher probability that a lot of people will not be successful at getting them removed compared to getting them deleted and taken off your consumer report altogether. But I am here to tell you that it can come off before 10 years if, and I do mean if, you can prove that it is inaccurate or non-factual, or it's just not happened at all. So I have a full online store that helps teach people how to fix their credit themselves. Check for the link at the bottom for a link to my full online store that will help you and teach you how to fix your credit yourselves and how to send out disputes for yourself. If you have any questions for me at all, you can reach me at my email, support@growthinspired.info, and I will leave a link to my email if you have any questions about it. I will try to answer them as quickly as possible. So if you like this video, please like, subscribe, and comment. And if you have any questions or anything, please reach me at my email at support@growthinspired.info. So I really hope that you enjoyed this video. I'll see you at the next one, okay? See ya.